A Fox News alert now, and it is a whopper. A number of blue states have been using your taxpayer dollars, COVID-19 relief funds, to push critical race theory in the classroom. Democrats, of course, passing the American Rescue Plan in 2021, which provided over $122 billion for elementary and secondary schools, over $46 billion allocated to 13 states to include programs on implicit bias, ethnic studies, LGBTQ competency, and anti-racism training. Of course, Democrat leaders describe passing the American Rescue Plan as a matter of life and death. With that, let us bring in Nicole, Parents Defending Education founder. Nicole, this report just published hours ago. What is your reaction?
It is appalling, and it is also unsurprising. I mean, let's look at the words that the department used in February 2021 when they passed this initiative, or when they were trying to pass it. It was, many of us thought that it was going to be used for masks, for air purifiers, to keep our schools open. We were told by people like Senator Raphael Warnock that this was a matter of life and death. But then the department at the same time was saying things like, we want to address social, emotional, and mental well-being. We want to address things like inequities. And so it's those kind of phrases where you sort of understand what the department was going for. And so I'm not surprised that blue states have been using these programs to push their social justice agenda.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers, drill down. California awarding $15.1 billion. And look what they used it for. A lot of woke stuff. New York, $9 billion. Illinois, $5.1 billion. Nicole, if I'm a restaurant owner in one of these states who was told by the Democratic establishment I needed to shut down, I had to shut down. I had no choice. Otherwise, I'd go to jail. And I lost my livelihood because of this. Yet billions upon billions of dollars are being put into these schools to turn my kids into an activist. What's my reaction this morning?
It's appalling. It's sickening, right? I mean, we have inflation going through the roof because the federal government was printing money to advance their agenda. Terms like social and emotional learning sound great. Of course, we want our children to be emotionally aware. But we look at actually what these programs are in practice. These are Trojan horses for critical race theory. We have people like Gloria Ladson-Billing pushing transformative SEL, talking about culturally responsive programs. And so, yeah, things like implicit bias, of course they're going to trip in, because that's exactly what this Department of Education wants to do. And that's what a lot of these education bureaucrats at the state and local level want to do as well.
Meantime, Nicole, your organization and 26 other parents' rights groups sending a letter to Education Secretary Miguel Cardona urging him not to rewrite the Trump-era Title IX policy. Explain to us what this fight is really all about.
Sure. So in 2020, Betsy DeVos and the Trump administration put in place terrific safeguards that protected students and other administrators' due process rights, strengthened free speech protections that have been trampled by the Obama administration through Dear Colleague letters. And unfortunately, what we see now and what we're anticipating coming out any day is Title IX, which prevents discrimination in education institutions on the basis of sex, to be rewritten. They're going to read gender identity into this, which means that schools and individuals now have to push forward this social justice agenda. And if this is something that the Department of Education wants to do, then they have to have Congress rewrite the statute. This is not something that an administration can do with a pen and a phone, as we know that many of our opponents in this fight want to do.
How disastrous would this be, quite frankly, for little girls if this goes through?
Right. It's horrifying. What is going to happen is we are going to see safety issues come up. We see this in sports issues, right? Women playing against biological males. We are going to see this in the loss of privacy, the loss of single-sex spaces, ranging from restrooms to locker rooms to even overnight field trips where students will have to be housed with other people with whom they identify. And so I think a lot of parents, grandparents have significant concerns that are justifiable concerns. Yet people who express any worries about this at all are being called bigots, transphobes, and that's not true. I think parents want to know what is going on, and families are being cut out on a regular basis from issues like this in school. And so we wanted to flag for the administration. We have 390,000 people that want these rules to not be changed.
Besides a small minority of activists, Nicole, who wants any of these changes?
It's a great question. We see these agendas being pushed by activist organizations like GLSEN, the Trevor Project, Human Rights Campaign. But again, as you implied, this is a small group of activists. This is not representative of the vast majority of Americans who, if this is a change that the government wants to make, should do it through the proper process, not through administrative actions.
As parent of a little girl, I am freaked out about this. Nicole, Neily, we appreciate you giving us your insight on it. Thank you very much. Carly.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.